This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good afternoon, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Tim Daniel, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Join all the action at FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer this MLB season. Well, on today's show, Elly De La Cruz was awesome, both offensively and defensively. We got a Ke'Bryan Hayes excellent performance. I had to wear the Ke'Bryan Hayes shirt. Bullpen today showed up and they were great. And Nathaniel Lowe has his best game so far as a Cincinnati Red.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Nathaniel Lowe today, who, as we all know, did a little bit of this, not just performance, but playing time as well, had been kind of getting hot again. Had started to swing the bat really well. Had a really good road trip, homers in Colorado, homer in homer in Seattle, and then has a 3-hit game today where he has 2 runs back, hits that 2-run hit to take the game over and make it 5-2. And the Reds don't look back. So he brings his OPS up to 808. He's got a 256 batting average right now. This has kind of been a guy who has, I don't know if he's rescued the Reds, but man, he has been really good. His last 7, a 345, 345, 655, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in, 3 runs scored, 4 strikeouts. And today, he played first base. They gave Sal Stewart the day off. We're going to get to Sal Stewart's big play here in a moment as well. And he did really well. I mean, they got what they really needed from him. And look, can we just, I know I'm going to do the whole analytic thing. I'm going to break the game down. We're going to do this whole thing, but can we just take 1 second to say 1, 6-3 road trip. 2, only the second time this year they got a series win against someone within the NL Central. 3, only their 7th win this season against the NL Central. 4, I love beating the St. Louis Cardinals. I just love beating the St. Louis Cardinals. There is nothing that puts a brighter smile on my face, maybe besides beating the Pirates, but maybe that's going to come up this weekend. But nothing makes me happier than beating one of those 2 teams. And it's just been so fun. What a great road trip. Because it's the weirdest road trip too, right? They go 6-3. Their 3 losses are blowout losses. But they still managed to pull 6 games here coming out of the All-Star break when, there's still 6 teams under 500. They probably are still sellers next week at the deadline, though the Spencer Steer thing makes things a little bit more interesting. But today, they played really well. I know they have 2 errors, but I would take that game from the Reds every day of the week. Was it perfect? No. I mean, the Noelvi Marte, Jose Trevino strikeout throwout wasn't great. They did leave 8 on base. Nathaniel Lowe has an error. Jose Trevino gets a catcher's interference error. I don't really care about that one all that much, to be honest with you. It could have been avoided, but it's also kind of really difficult for him as well. But I thought today, this is one of those games for the Reds where you just want to take all the time. Nathaniel Lowe leads the way. I think this is the first time this year. I don't know if anyone's keeping tally at home. I'm certainly not, because I do 162 of these. That Nathaniel Lowe's locked on player of the game, but he was the man today. It was really nice to see. Let's get to when this game was won for the Reds.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, in order for Nathaniel Lowe to get those 2 runs, we had to have Sal Stewart pinch hit on his day off and bring in Tyler Stevenson from the Manfred runner on second. From there, the Reds go and put 2 more in on the Nathaniel Lowe at bat, putting 3 runs on the board in the 10th inning, leading to a win. We have not really seen them win that kind of game this year, right? It's been they've given those games away. They've had some frustrating losses in that circumstance. So to see them go out there and get this win today was really nice to see, especially because it was an extra inning battle. It wasn't one of those games where they get to battle, they're up big and they're trying to hold on to the lead. No, they just kind of stayed alive through the whole day. They had 10 hits today as a team. They were awesome today. I thought this was one of the better game plays of the year, even with the 2 errors, which, again, one of those errors is catcher interference. So I don't even know if I call that an error, realistically. I know what it goes into the scorecard. But to see them just take care of the business they did today against a team that they haven't beat very well all year. It's really promising. And I think for them, they're going to look at this one. They're going to be really happy. They're going to look at this road trip and be very enthused by what they did there. Just a really fun game today. And look, guys, I don't get to do this often, but did we have a really good game from Ke'Bryan Hayes? But before we get to that, I got to give a big thank you to Amazon for this limited break. This back-to-school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. We all know how crazy the back-to-school shopping experience can be. It starts with a few items on the list, then suddenly you're shopping for supplies, clothes, lunch gear, tech, and about 10 other things you didn't see coming. It adds up fast. When you look at the school supply list and wonder if you're shopping for one child or opening a small office supply store, I didn't realize first grade required this much inventory. Shopping like this can get out of control if you're not careful. When the school says your child needs a calculator, headphones, tablet for class, and somehow you're buying another one before the semester's halfway over. Since when do kids need that much tech for third grade? So remember, with Amazon's low back-to-school prices, just spend less on your kids, because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them. Shop back to school on Amazon and spend less on your kids. Thank you to our everydayers here for joining us on the postcast. I know we don't get to have too much fun here on days like this, so we're going to enjoy today's 5-3 victory over the St. Louis Cardinals. And if you are an everydayer, now's the time to take advantage of the Everydayer Club. $5 a month, $50 you get access to ad-free episodes of all your favorite Locked On episodes. You also get access to our Discord chat. We'll be in there talking ball with all of you. And hey, keep an eye out if you're an Everydayer Club, because Jeff, Steve, and I may be doing something pretty cool today for you. Oh, I totally forgot. Debbie's in the chat. Debbie went to the game today. And Debbie, I told you last night, right? I said, you're going to have a much better experience today. They're going to get a win today because you had to sit through that. If you call that a baseball game last night, so they paid you back today with a good one. So I'm really happy you got to see the Reds take care of business today. And that was nice to see. Guys, hold on just a second. Ke'Bryan Hayes.
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
There have been twice that I've given Ke'Bryan Hayes credit this season. Once he was locked on player of the game, and today he's the X Factor. And look, I'm going to talk about Elly. Don't you worry. We're going to talk about Elly. And I'm going to take some questions today because this is a really fun game. Ke'Bryan Hayes today hits the second homer of the game for the Reds to make it 2-2. Has an unreal play at third base where he starts a double play with Arroyo and Lowe. That was insane. And he's also draws a walk. And obviously a subbed in for Sal Stewart. So, he benefited the Reds all around today, whether he was on the field or not. A homer and a walk today for him. That means he got on base twice today. This is just the fifth time this season Ke'Bryan Hayes has been on base 5 times. Twice or more in a game. Let that sink in. Only 5 times this season, Ke'Bryan Hayes has been on base twice or more. So when he does have one of these, I'm going to enjoy it. Look, I even rocked the Ke'Bryan Hayes shirt today. Shout out Cincy Shirts. Billy DeVore, my guy. I love you. That was a fun day for him. And that's a guy who, look, we all rip him to shreds, right, for what he's not. And honestly, as a major leaguer who's making the salary he is, he's going to get a lot of stuff later. He's going to be justifiably, he's going to be held to a higher standard. There's the effect of why did they trade for him? And none of that is his fault. And he seems like a really cool dude. Just seems like a guy that's really easy to root for, a guy that people really like having in the clubhouse. And I want him to win. I want him to do so well. A 443 OPS. No one's writing home about how great that is. But to see him kind of just handle business today, I'd love to see more of these games from him. His rehab stint when he was down in Louisville, having 4 hits and getting homers, made you feel a little better about hopefully the back issue kind of taking care of itself. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a common thing. I know this is the outlier, but I would love to see him have more days like this. And we'll see if we can get more solid play from him. But only time will tell. Hey, I totally skipped over before I went to break there. I got so deep into talk about the extra innings. I want to give some credit to the bullpen today. Lights out. So first off, let's give Andrew Abbott his flowers. 6 innings of really good ball today. 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. Does have 4 walks. But here's the thing. You watched the game today. You saw, like, in the 4th inning, it didn't look like he was going to get to the 6th. And buckled down, gritted his teeth, and got through it. So Abbott's been really, really good now for a few months now. And, Hunter Green's got a long-term deal. Chase Burns has a long-term deal. If they can get Andrew Abbott signed a long-term deal, I'm going to feel really good about the rotation for the next couple seasons, whatever next season is. His last 7 games, a 3.62 ERA, 37 in the 3rd innings, 36 strikeouts. We got to figure out these walks, though, my guy. 18 walks in that time frame is not great. So that was frustrating to see. But the bullpen today, they're going to a game where they kind of have to hold it together. They enter in a tie game. Pierce Johnson gets an inning out of the way, is solid. TJ Antone gets about 2/3, gets a strikeout, does give up 2 hits. Brock Burke, man. I mean, if I could give multiple lockdown players of the games, which I guess I could, it's my show. Brock Burke would certainly be a guy who would be in there. So an inning and a third today with 2 strikeouts. That guy's just a gamer. And I feel like his season's been so underrated because we've just complained, and rightfully so, about the bullpen all year and what they haven't done. Which, like, let's be honest, they haven't done a lot. But see him, he's been a guy who's been really, really solid throughout the season. He's got a 2.66 ERA on the year. He's got 4 wins out of the pen. In his last, he hasn't given up an earned run in his last 7 outings. So in that last 7 outings, 6 1/3, 4 strikeouts, just 2 walks, a .79 whip. Last 15, it even looks better. 11 strikeouts, a .98 whip, just 6 walks, and 3 earned runs. That's in 14 innings. He's kind of delivering for this team, and he's been really solid. And then, how about Julian Garcia? This man continues to kind of keep impressing Reds fans. Goes an inning today. At the end of the game, gets his first big league save. Obviously, the run that does come in the 9th inning, that was J.J. Weatherholt's run, doesn't go against his ERA since he inherited the runner with the Rob Manfred rule, and does get a really nice strikeout. Kind of handled Jordan Walker. I was really impressed with that outing. So nice today for the bullpen. And of course, let's give the guy that we always give some more love today. Elly De La Cruz. Man. So, obviously gets the Reds on the board in the 3rd inning with a solo shot. Then makes an unreal play on defense to get an out. Just sick. And then 10th inning, Sal Storer gets the RBI. Elly then comes up and gets a single to kind of keep the pressure on, and ends up scoring when Nathaniel Lowe has to hit. And then the bottom of the 10th makes another crazy defensive play. Elly was awesome today. And we say that a lot, right? This is a guy who has an 8.60 ERA. I mean, OPS. 8.60 ERA would not be awesome. He has 18 homers now. He's got 18 stolen bases. 30 seasons in play. I don't know if he's going to get there just because they only have 2 full months left of games. But 6 homers and 6 stolen bases a month. I think we all think he can do that, especially the way he's running again. Looks really promising. I won't do this a whole lot, but his move to the leadoff spot, I think, was the best move the Reds have done all year. It was the smartest move for their offense. It has given him the most at-bats possible on the team, and the offense has been a little better for that. So I hope that he can keep doing this. I'm very confident in him. I know that everyone wants to come and talk when it comes to him and just talk about how, he's only going to be here a certain amount of time. Likely. But we got to enjoy it while we have him here, because that's a guy that, you have a window where you can win with him if you do it right. So we'll see if they do it right. I know it's not promising, but we'll see how it goes. A couple other things I want to mention before we get out of here. Spencer Steer today, obviously that is really nerve-wracking with the getting hit by a pitch, gets pulled out of the game. Edwin Arroyo comes in for him, goes over 2 with 2 strikeouts. A guy that the Reds need a lot of trade value for, and he's really been slumping for quite a bit of late. So hopefully this is nothing serious. Hopefully they can get him back soon. Maybe someone still wants to take a flyer on him at the deadline, but he's got a 192 on base his last 7 games. So kind of hit a little bit of a rut there. So hopefully it doesn't go too far down the line. Noelvi Marte today. one of these nice promising Noelvi Marte games with 2 hits, goes 2 for 4 today. I listened to the radio broadcast for a little bit and they were talking about it, just how he just hasn't been waiting for his pitch. And today I felt like he had 2 really good at bats. Thought he played the outfield really well today too. Made a couple nice catches. Nice, you want to take those days for him any chance you can get. So overall, a fun day to be a Reds fan, a great road trip coming out of the All-Star break. And tomorrow they're back home at GABP. And guess what, folks? It's Chase Burns Day. But before we go ahead and preview tomorrow's game, the Reds are winners today against the St. Louis Cardinals, 5-3. The Reds have 5 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. The Cardinals have 3 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Brock Burke is your winning pitcher. He is now 4-4 with a 2.66 ERA. Matt Swanson is your losing pitcher for the Cardinals. He is 2-3 with a 7.23 ERA. And Julian Garcia picks up his first save. And tomorrow the Reds are finally back at GABP as Chase Burns takes the hill for the Redlegs. He is 12-1 with a 2.42 ERA. He'll be going against Slade Ciccone of the Guardians, who is 4-7 with a 4.6 ERA. First pitch is at 7:10. I'm going to try to make it out for one of these Guardians games. I'll keep you guys posted just so you know if the show is going to be late or not. But everyone, thank you all so much for spending some time with us. Again, programming alert, I want to give you guys a heads up. I will be on Locked On Reds tomorrow with Jeff, filling in for Steve. So I'm excited to be doing that as well. I always enjoy my opportunities. I get to spend time with those guys, whether it's one of them or both of them. But today was a lot of fun. It was a great birthday weekend for me. And I love being able to talk baseball with you guys on a daily basis. But everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Please be sure to subscribe or hit that notification button on YouTube or on your podcast app of choice so you make sure you get me after every game and Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday as well. Again, I love you all. I'm Tim Daniel. Go Redlegs. I'll see you tomorrow.